to cloud the main reason why we are gathered here, or the reason why we know each other to begin with. Now, comrades, when we speak of a revolution, of organizational theory, we must first speak of a branch, which is a building monument of an organization. Now, that is where it all starts, comrades. Now, there's a discussion, comrades, from the NGC of 2014, which was asking a question whether are we a revolutionary organization or are we a reactionary organization? Now, what constitutes us to be a revolutionary organization is the first question. A revolutionary organization, comrades, or revolutionaries, the focus would not be for you to react to what is happening to society, but for you to initiate the conversations that are going to build what is going on in our society. Now, for us to be reactionaries, we would then, when we see a fire, we start dancing and doing whatever else. Now, all of these questions, comrades, should bring us to the situations that we are faced with today. We are faced, comrades, with institutionalized factionalism. When a person joins the organization, they do not join an organization, but they join someone. I come to join the member Yagasilo. I'm not a member of Sasco. I'm a person of Zambia. I'm a person of Zonke. If Zonke says we must go left, I can't go right. We have a blind loyalty that is towards people and not to the organization. That is what is killing us as the PYA components or as a student movement to date. We tend to forget the sacrifices and compromises that were made by those who came before us. Those who came before us, comrades, the sacrifice, the maps that they drew in this country was not only by speaking, not only by chanting. Some of them, comrades, they lost their lives. To date, others, their families do not know where their bones rest. And we take this student movement for granted. It pains me, comrades, that all comrades, it's something that we mostly do, all of us, when we interpret the constitution or we interpret content of the organization, you interpret it to an extent that you want it to benefit you or you want it to agree with what you are saying. There is a new tendency, comrades, that we have adopted, especially as young people. It's a wrong tendency because we are going to inherit the ANC, we are going to inherit Nehau, we are going to inherit the BAT. What then is going to be our contribution towards that? There's also a quote that comrades always sing about. It has become just our daily bread, comrades, of Frantz Fanon, of saying that each generation has its mission. I don't think we understand such concepts, and I don't think we understand how to define our own generational mission. We have on paper, comrades, free education. There are students, the very same people who fought for that free education are not benefiting from it. What are we saying as the PYA to all of that? What is it that we are doing as the PYA to draft documents, to do research, to assist the Department of Education, to say that this is the direction that we are supposed to go in? Comrades, we joined a Sasco when some of us joined it. We joined a Sasco that was a Sasco of intellectuals. We joined a youth league that was a youth league of people who are radical. Consciously radical. I like what Nobala had said, that whatever we do must go with consciousness and discipline in the mix. Because at the end of the day, without any of these things, comrades, we are not going to be able to achieve or do anything. Now, comrades, we find ourselves, there are students who are suffering financial exclusion. There are students who do not have their meal allowances. There are students who are sleeping in libraries. There are students who are sleeping under the bridge. There are students who are getting raped day in, day out in their institutions of higher learning. However, as the organization, as the PYA, our main focus is who's fighting who must enter, and whose expense are we doing this. I believe, comrades, those are the small things that destroy us as an organization or as a movement, as the PYA. Those are the small things that remove confidence from our constituents towards ourselves. The NEC of Sasco, comrades, decided that the theme of its leadership is renew, modernize, and reposition. Those are the things that we must speak to. What are we renewing? What are we modernizing? And what are we repositioning? What we need to renew, comrades, is to go back to basics. Go back to being organizations that are able to read. Go back to being people at whose heart, the center, what we must be thinking of is the students that we serve, and not our pockets, and not who is in charge, who is not in charge. You reposition the organization to be at the center of all the student issues. We must be the first ones, comrades, to embark on a national strike to say that the NSFAS is failing us. They are not doing anything that is assisting students. This system has collapsed the entire student people, comrades. Because, comrades, students have written exams without having their book allowances, and you expect them to pass. Students have been on a daily basis going to class on a hungry stomach because their allocations have not yet been given to them. And we expect them to pass. And we wonder why the highest drop rate is that of students who are people of the working class. Now, comrades, I believe that this summit, comrades, and as much as we have arrived late, as in when we go to commissions, all of those things are issues that we must question. All of those issues are issues which we must have policy positions towards. We must speak, it's a rhetoric, comrades. Every time we meet, we speak about institutional autonomy. We speak about how this institutional autonomy is affecting us. We speak about how we are the primary stakeholders in institutions of higher learning. However, there's a commodification of education. But there's nothing that we do post that. We never have a program of action that is going to address all of those issues. As in when we live here, comrades, I believe that we must have a clear program of action as we move towards elections. Your elections are here just now. Even beyond that, comrades, sessions of this nature are not sessions that we must only have when we are going towards elections. Sessions of this nature that speak to the PYA sitting in one place must not be sessions that we have when we are giving each other messages of support. Our relationship as PYA structures, comrades, does not only end in us saying, no, this one is the leader of this organization, this one is the leader of this organization. It goes beyond that. All of us are members of society before we even joined any of the organizations that we are members of. And as such, comrades, we must go back to our branches. And as we go back to our branches, comrades, we need to build a conscious membership base. We need to go back to the culture of reading. We need to differentiate between people who are members of the organization and cadres of the organization. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is that moving forward, comrades, the issue of political education, as much as we always think that political education is important, we put it into practice. We have inductions of BCs, we have inductions, comrades, we read the APCs of Sasco, the sport document of Sasco. And you ask yourself again, comrades, as members of Sasco and members of the other organizations, that all of these documents that we speak about today, it's documents that were written by those who are not in our generation. Are those documents still relevant to what we are facing today? And as in when we check that relevance, what is it that we can do as this generation? Because, comrades, we have become people who we are unable as the PYA comrades to deliver a stable breed of cadres, because we think of our pockets more than we think of the organization. I want to read out, comrades, a quote from Comrade Che Guevara, which he wrote in 1962. He says, comrades, an individual of ideological and we need, when we build a cadre, the task of leading a revolutionary organization is an individual of ideological and administrative discipline, who knows the practices democratic centralism, and who knows how to evaluate the existing contradictions in this method and to utilize fully its many facets. Who knows how to practice the principle of collective discussion and to make decisions on his own and take responsibility in production. Whose loyalty is tested and whose physical and moral courage has developed along with his ideological development in such a way that he is always willing to confront any conflict and to give his life for the good of the revolution. Close quote. You ask yourself, do we have that kind of cadre today? sitting here, comrades, do we have those kind of people who are more loyal to the revolution, who are more loyal to the organization than they are to themselves? The ANC speaks of looking through the eye of an eagle when you are electing your leadership or when you are choosing people to lead you. Does through the eye of an eagle, is it a document that we still use even when we do that election of leaders? You speak to the deployment policy of Sasco, comrades, and you speak to democratic centralism. Perhaps, comrades, democratic centralism must be explained over and over and over again until comrades understand it. Because it seems as though, comrades, we choose ourselves over any of the guiding principles and cultures that we have from our organizations. So we need to go back, comrades, to the drawing board. We need to go back to criticize ourselves. Self-criticism is important as in when we move forward. It's the only way, comrades, we are going to find a way to unite the PYA and to come as a stronger collective when we move forward. Now, comrades, I understand that lots of comrades have to leave back to their respective provinces. So I will not take long, but in my closing, comrades, I want us to speak to one thing. We speak to the gender policy of Sasco, and we speak to the quota that is there in our constitution. As in when, comrades, we go to deploy in our SRCs, there are considerations that we must make. And we must understand, comrades, the difference between a gender policy and a gender quota. And as in when we deploy even our female comrades, it must be based on their capacity. It must not be a basis of we must balance the gender. There's a gender quota in the constitution of Sasco that says there must be 50-50. So I'm going to take my friend and I'm going to take my girlfriend to be leadership. We must be able, comrades, to assess leaders, whether we are agreeing or we are in different factional alignments. We must be able to notice and to note that this one is leadership, whether I agree with him or her or not, they are going to take the organization to a better level. And we must note, comrades, that the future of the PYA and the future of this country is in our hands. And in the same note, comrades, commend the young women's desk of the African National Congress Women's Day. It takes small steps like that, comrades, to change the thinking of the country. Now, comrades, I will not be long. I am a very short person. I'll just sing one song and sit down. Oh yeah, we know Samana. Oh Samana, no more. Samana, Samana,